Good morning, good morning, good morning, champions. Coach Tina here, and I am excited. It's Monday. We are here for our Monday morning motivation every Monday, even 3 weeks from now is Christmas. Will I do it on Christmas? If you want me to post at 7 a.m. on Christmas morning, put it in the feed. Most likely we're going to move it to Tuesday, the 26th. But all that to say, I need to get us set into the Facebook group so that other people can find the feed. So letting you know that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Facebook. Sorry, I should have had this set up this morning. And let's go ahead and make this post pinned to the top. As if I could do that easily. Oh, Facebook drives me crazy. So now it's not letting me see what I have in there. So I can see it on my regular. Good morning, Margaret. I see a comment, so that's good. But it is not letting me post it as if it's in our feed. Gotta love it. Okay, I see everybody on. I guess I'm just not going to post it to the top. See, on my Facebook, there is just a white box at the bottom instead of where it should be. So, who knew that I was going to wake up on Monday morning, 2 Mondays before we go into Christmas, and Facebook would be changed. So, today, let's talk about today, this Monday morning, the important part of what we are talking about. And it is, yes, you are worthy. And I put this in light of like, yes, Veronica, there is a Santa Claus. So, yes, insert your name. You are worthy. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've done, what your past is like, how messed up your Monday morning is already, or what you have to deal with this week. You are worthy. And so we're going to talk about that this week. And so if you are watching live, please let me know. And if you're on the replay, let us know as well. Mari, so happy to have you. I know that you're in that beautiful winter wonderland, enjoying life for sure. We have the cold weather, not as cold as you, I'm sure, but I think it's 32 degrees out there this morning, but no snow. We went last night they have in a park near us, one of those walking light areas, and it was so beautiful. They did such a good job. And it was like 40 degrees at that point, and it was chilly. I hadn't spent a lot of time out in it at this point, and I was feeling it. So, what kinds of things are you guys doing for the Christmas holidays that are giving you cheer, right? Like for me, walking through the lights, and it wasn't just the lights, right? It was the families with the little kids and taking the time to take their photos. And there was one little boy that was ahead of us, and every single light sculpture, he would run and try to like jump through the circles and probably ruin it. But it was funny to watch. So who knows what the parents were thinking, letting them just do whatever, but it was comical. And we took pictures for people. It was actually a beautiful day. We at church they set up all of the different picture stations, and we were able to take some Christmas photos there too. So it was a good picture day for sure. But today we're going to be talking about worth, and I have a question for you. How much do you think you're worth? You don't have to put it in the comments. This is a question for you. And this is one where sometimes we don't like to talk about it, right? Like, ooh, it's funny because we might worry or wonder about the net worth of somebody. And, if you've ever Googled a famous person and put net worth, it'll come up with what they suppose that person is worth at this point. It's all based on, like for movie stars, how much they made in their movies, I guess they take out living expenses, I don't know, and then give you a number. But I calculate my net worth about every 3 months. I used to do it monthly, and that got a little bit overwhelming. I was told you just don't need to look at it that often, so I moved to quarterly, and it's a really good picture, especially because the mind can give you some tricks. And I was in a place where I was feeling like, especially after my divorce, that I had nothing. And so when I started my net worth, I did it as part of my divorce decree to say, this is truly half of what we currently own. And then I kept that up. And by doing that, I was able to see year after year after my divorce how much I have accumulated and increased my wealth. Now, wealth is not just money, right? It's riches and life experiences, and there's so much more than just the dollar value in the bank. But sometimes we need that marker to give us information, kind of like when we step on the scale. Um, there's no judgment, it's just a fact. It's just a number that you can say, "Huh, do I like that or do I need to do something about that? What do I wanna do?" And the trick in life is not letting it just be a mystery, and because we can embellish in our head so much of what is wrong and that we don't have enough, and that's why I was saying once I started putting it on paper, it really alleviates my fears a lot of times where I'll be like, "Oh, we're doing a bad job with money management," or, "We don't have as much savings," and then I look and I'm like, "Yeah, but our net worth is increasing, like, we're buying properties, we're doing things that are raising us to a different level," and so worth can be more than net worth. It can also be self-worth. And it's just like we have a marker for numbers, the problem with self-worth is we don't have a good way to manage our self-worth. And so we can start telling ourselves those negative messages, and we can get to a place where we're like, huh, I'm not worthy, or I don't have what I need. The age-old fear that all of us have is we are not enough. And so when we start talking about worth, it really plays into that, right? We're not worthy enough. We don't have enough money, enough things. All right. Yeah. So, and I believe this is Mari saying she did some net worth years ago when it was depressing below zero, and now it should be much better. And that's why it's important to know, right? Like, because we can spin these stories in our head and then they become our truth when they're not actually true. So we want to be factual in our life. We don't want to just go around blaming ourselves and saying things that aren't true or believing things that aren't true. We want to, this is one of those things that Tony uses a lot too, which is someone will tell him a story and his response will be, "Is that true?" And he'll ask for 3 truths regarding that, like how you don't have enough. What is the proof? And usually, if you asking yourself that question, you'll start to pull out the fact that you're tricking your mind, that there is a deception going on where it's not really true. And I think that's really important for us, and hence the reason we're talking about this today. Um, because interestingly enough, the word worth it's actually value. So and who gets to decide what's valuable or not valuable, right? Have you ever seen there's like a thing that goes out on Facebook where um like a dad has his daughter, I don't know, take something to a like a pawn shop, and maybe it's like an old coin, and the pawn shop is like, "Yeah, it's not worth much. We'll give you 20 bucks for it." And he says, "Now take it to a coin shop." And the coin shop is like, "Yeah, we'll give you 200 for it." And he says, "Now I want you to take it to this special antique dealers specific to this type of coin." And when she goes in there, it's worth $200,000. the people that you present yourself to have different levels of value. And if you're putting yourself in front of someone that thinks that value is only $25 when it's 200,000, you're not getting the right information. So we have to be really careful about other people telling us what the value of something is. But in contrast, we have worth and worthiness. The really cool definition I found. So one of the definitions was this notable or important in a particular sphere. And I wrote it exactly like it was in the definition because I was thinking of the spheres, right? The circles. And I was thinking of, oh yeah, I'm worthy in that circle. But I was saying, you know what? Our earth is a big sphere. And so worthiness is not a number. Worthiness is something intrinsic to you, and you are already completely worthy. I have a couple of things that I read that I thought were so beautiful. So, worthy is defined as having value, but Brene Brown says worthy means to have value without any prerequisites. So, worthy is actually who we are, and it's totally different than being deserving, right? And a lot of us get that mixed up that we aren't worthy because we don't deserve to have something. But deserving means you did something to get it. There was a merit, or you had to qualify, or you had to take some actions or do something. But worthiness, we are worthy by our birth. And we're only limited by what we're willing to do and aren't afraid to fail at. So what happens is the worthiness that we have is not dependent on our past mistakes or our failures. But if we don't feel worthy, if we're constantly seeking external methods to tell us what our worth is, we're never going to get there. We're always going to feel like we're behind and not doing what we should be doing. And of course, we don't want that for ourselves, right? We want to feel worthy of the life that we're living so that we can do the things we're meant to do. You guys know, I believe that we are designed by God for greatness and a purpose. And part of that purpose fulfillment is understanding the worth that just by being exactly who you are, your unique skills, your unique talents, your unique gifts, and sharing them, like not holding them back from people, but actually putting yourself out there, getting uncomfortable when it's necessary, that's what's going to help you to live out your life of purpose. That's what's going to increase your self-worth. By increasing your self-worth, the natural way of the world is that your net worth will increase. Because when you have that confidence, you're naturally going to put your skill set out there. Your skill set is what is going to bring you an income. And then you'll be able to move on, up level, whatever that is for you. So you want to be worthy, important, and feel that importance, right? It's not that anything that you have to do, it's the feeling that you have to have behind it. And the other thing related to worth that I wanted to talk about is it worth it? Like, so much of what we do is almost like on autopilot. We do things, we have checklists, we feel like we should do something, but we're not analyzing or evaluating, is it worth it to do the thing that I need to do? And we've got to dig deep into that area, because if you're just doing stuff, you are going to miss the mark. You need to be doing the stuff that's important for that purpose, right? And that's why coming up this month, this weekend, on the 16th on Saturday, we'll be doing the 90-day planning workshop. These are the quarterly workshops that we do that help you to figure out, each month we talk about our dreams. Last week we did our December end of the year workshop, got our things in line for what we want to do. Now we want to start breaking it down and honing it and looking at the big picture. Now, the big picture of the 90 days, not the big picture of the rest of our life, but by taking it and being strategically aware of how we're going to make those transformations. And so this Saturday, it'll be 10 a.m. Central. We'll be doing the 90-day planning workshop, and we will be setting up our benchmarks. So some of you have been doing your benchmarks now, a couple of iterations of them, and we have this grid that says, this is where I am now. This is where I want to be at the end of the grid. And then we're filling in the squares in between with many steps that are saying, this is what I'm trying to do in my life. And I know so many of you have been filling in your grids. We turn them green as we accomplish them because we have a benchmark. We have a way to measure it. We have a way to say, this is what is working in my life. And the cool thing is as we do these multiple iterations, you can refine it, hone in. Where you didn't do well, you can start thinking about how you could get more specific, how you could break it into more manageable parts. And you can start really seeing that progress and feeling the progress. And I know, I'm going to check these comments, but those of you that are doing the work in this area, you're seeing the results. And I'm pretty sure it's lifting you up in that worthy category where you are feeling like you are getting what you need. So love it. I'm seeing you guys saying that, yes, the workshop is so needed. Put #workshop in here. I'll make sure you get the details. Margaret says she loves the planning workshops and that the benchmark is genius. Yes. And we've got, they've done this for years. It works. You get to reflect and change things. Yes. And you get to examine those gaps and really understand what it is you need to do. So I love that. I love that we have this as a thing to work on because the end of the year is coming, you guys. I'm so excited. I love the Christmas time period, but it is, a time period on steroids where we're doing the thing. A report on how things are going with our move. So our Christmas tree was in storage in the other city, and we have been going on Sundays to it's an hour away to where we used to live because we're still serving in the church. So we went on Sundays, served in the church, went to the storage unit and got our Christmas tree and 3 bins of what I'm hoping are the ornaments. I didn't actually look. And so when we put the tree together, we will be putting up our ornaments hopefully tonight. Tonight is marriage night for my husband and I, where we do things to improve our marriage. And what's going to improve our marriage most at this point in time is getting our Christmas tree up. So we're going to do that tonight. So we're behind the 8 ball, but we will have it up and ready this week. So I'm excited about that. And I'm sure you guys all have different things going on. It is the Christmas time period. We have events to go to. We have things for our kids in school. We're not going to have any of our out-of-staters come home this year. So it's going to be our locals. And we were talking about what we were going to do. We got to see our grandbaby yesterday too. He lives in that other city. And so we packed our Sunday with fun family time. But we are focusing on the things that matter in this season while also keeping track of what matters for the rest of this year, finishing our goals strong, getting our goals set up for January, all of those things that are important for sure. All right. Awesome. I'm not able to see this in the feed. So there's someone who's planning to attend AA meetings for codependents after the holiday season. So important, you guys. So very important. I don't know if I have shared with you, but I was in a situation where the person that I loved was struggling with addiction. And I called out to God one day and I just said, look, I have no clue how to solve this problem. I need your help. And I've always been business focused. I've always been goal focused. And we were in the middle of a move and I was getting ready to get a new job. And I just said, God, I don't even know how to get a new job in this place. Like, it's up to you. You get my job. I'm done. I basically just handed him my life. And the job that God ended up getting for me was working in a recovery center for teenagers in recovery from drug and alcohol addiction. And it was such a blessing to me. And I sat in that meeting and they said to me, they said, since you don't have any background in AA, so Alcoholics Anonymous, you're going to have to go to AA meetings and you're going to have to go into Al Anon meetings, which are support for that. And so basically, I was put in a job where it was my job to learn about alcoholism. And wow, I I grew so much in that time period. That's what made me healthy enough to leave my first marriage because I just couldn't I didn't have the answers. And the AA and the recovery was so very important to me. So I'm super happy you guys are sharing that. Good job. And then don't forget the things that we have coming up after the 90-day workshop. We have the end of the year retreat. And this is where we're going to release everything on Friday night from the past year and let it go. And we are going to receive everything for the new year on Saturday. So this is the 29th and the 30th. And then that will lead you into the 31st on Sunday, and you can have all your festivities and things for the new year. But we will be just cleansing ourselves and preparing for the new year. And then that will be followed by a week of focusing on the 7F framework. And each day in January through the 7th, I will be covering an aspect of the framework and things that you need to know about the framework to really set yourself up for a fantastic year. So if you're interested in any of the end of the year programming, please put hashtag end of year. That should be going out this week, and you'll be getting all the links and everything you need. Other than that, tell us what insights you've gotten from today, and you will be blessed this week. I will be thinking of you. I will be sending information out, and love you guys, and I love all of the information you guys are sending me. I'm going to go back and read the comments and see who's saying what. I appreciate you guys so much, and hope you guys have a really blessed week, okay? We'll see you on Saturday the 16th for sure. And don't forget, those of you that are on the Champions Voyage, this is check-in week. So we have, it's not check-in week, it's office hours week. So we have Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:30 a.m. and p.m. for you guys to check in. Let's talk about your December goals and just how the month is going for you. All right? Have a blessed week, and we'll talk to you soon.